The sun was barely up when Karen's shrill voice pierced the calm of Willow Lake. "You're fishing here? Unacceptable!" she barked, her designer heels clicking on the wooden dock. I froze, my rod dipping into the water, a base tugging lightly at the line. Karen, the HOA president, loomed over me, her fur coat gleaming like she'd stepped out of a magazine. Her sunglasses hid her eyes, but her sneer said it all. I was beneath her. "This lake is HOA property," she snapped, slapping a $500 fine onto my tackle box. "Pay up, or you're out." The fine was for unauthorized recreational use, a rule I'd never heard of in my 10 years fishing these waters. My stomach churned. That was a month's rent. I tried to argue, but Karen waved me off, tossing my spare lures into the lake for emphasis. "Rules are rules," she said, turning on her heel, leaving me staring at my ruined gear sinking into the depths. I wasn't alone in my outrage. Willow Lake was the heart of our small community, a place where kids learned to fish and families picnicked. But ever since Karen took over the HOA, she'd turned it into her personal kingdom. She'd installed cameras, banned barbecues, and even fined Mrs. Carter for feeding ducks. The lake, once free for all, was now exclusive to HOA members who paid her absurd fees. I wasn't an HOA member. I rented a cabin on the lake's edge, outside their jurisdiction. Or so I thought. That fine wasn't just about me. It was Karen flexing her power, daring anyone to challenge her. But I wasn't going to pay. I was going to fight. And I had a plan. The truth about Willow Lake wasn't hard to uncover, but it took digging. I spent nights poring over county records, fueled by coffee and spite. Karen's HOA claimed the lake as their own, but the deed was murky. The lake was originally public land, leased to the HOA decades ago under strict terms. It had to remain accessible to the community. Karen's fines and restrictions violated that lease. I contacted a lawyer, Sarah, a no-nonsense woman who'd grown up fishing the lake herself. "She's been scamming everyone," Sarah said, her eyes narrowing as she reviewed the documents. "The HOA's lease is void if they restrict public access. We can take her down." But there was a catch. To challenge the HOA, we needed proof of Karen's overreach and someone with enough money to fight her in court. Enter Tom, the twist I didn't see coming. Tom was a quiet retiree who lived in a modest cabin across the lake. I'd always thought he was just another fisherman, but one evening, as I vented about Karen over a beer, he leaned in. "I've got some savings," he said, his voice low, "and I've got a grudge." Turns out, Tom wasn't just a retiree, was a retired real estate mogul who'd sold his company for millions. Karen had fined him $1,000 for excessive boat noise last summer, even though his boat was electric and silent. He'd kept quiet, biding his time. Now, he was ready to bankroll the fight. "Let's not just sue her," he said, a glint in his eye. "Let's buy the damn lake." The confrontation came at the annual HOA meeting, held in the community center overlooking the lake. Karen stood at the podium, her voice dripping with self-righteousness as she listed new rules. No fishing without a $200 permit, no swimming after 6 p.m., no non-HOA boats. The crowd murmured, but no one dared speak up. Then Sarah stood, holding a stack of documents. "Karen, your HOA's lease on Willow Lake is invalid," she said, her voice steady. "You violated public access rights, and we're filing to revoke your control." The room erupted. Karen's face twisted in fury. "You can't do this," she shouted, slamming her gavel. "I own this lake." That's when Tom stood up, calm as ever. "Actually," he said, "I do." He'd quietly purchased the lake's title from the county for a sum that made my head spin. The crowd gasped. Karen's jaw dropped. But Karen didn't go down quietly. She stormed to the dock the next morning, her lawyer in tow, and began tearing down the public access signs Tom had installed. She screamed about lawsuits, her hands ripping at the wooden posts until splinters flew. I watched from my cabin, filming every second. She even tossed a kid's fishing rod into the water, yelling, "This is my lake." Her lawyer tried to stop her, but she was unhinged, her carefully curated image crumbling. The video went viral on local social media, shared by everyone from dog walkers to the mayor. Karen's destruction wasn't just vandalism, it was evidence. Sarah used it in court, arguing that Karen's actions proved her abuse of power. The judge agreed. Not only was the HOA's lease revoked, but Tom, now the lake's owner, secured a court order banning all HOA members from using it. Karen's reign was over. The lake was free again, but the victory was bittersweet. Karen moved away, her reputation in tatters, but the community was divided. Some HOA members felt betrayed, blaming me and Tom for ruining their exclusive perks. Others thanked us, bringing their kids to fish for the first time in years. Tom didn't stop at buying the lake, set up a trust to keep it public forever, with free fishing lessons for kids and cleanup days for families. I stood on the dock one morning, watching a girl catch her first base, her smile brighter than the sunrise. It wasn't just about the lake anymore. It was about standing up to bullies like Karen, about proving that one voice or two or three could make a difference. What do you think? Was it right to fight Karen's tyranny with Tom's money and a court order? Or did we go too far? Share your thoughts, because this lake belongs to all of us now.